There's one limited edition console I don't have. I'm not gonna spend 40,000 pesos for that, but I will spend 4,000 pesos to make my own exact replica. Hey guys, Elijah here, and as you can see, I have a spending problem. I'm a Pokemon fan. Which means I have a spending problem. As a Pokemon fan, you're compelled to collect them all. I mean, the first game and the second game told you to catch them all. It says so in the box, see? Well, up until Gen 3, when they completely locked out transferring old Pokemon from the old games, and now you really can't catch them all, which coincidentally, they removed "Gotta catch them all" from their tagline and slogan. And got worse when Gen 8 came out, and Dexit happened, but that's another rant for another day. Now, collecting Pokemon is a very difficult task, both in the games itself and the merchandise. From video games, to anime, to cards, to plushies, to figures, and the main topic for making this video, limited edition consoles. I made it my goal to collect at least one limited edition console per generation. It took me a few years, a lot of negotiating, and a lot of money, but I'm very happy on how my collection turned out so far. The inner child in me is satisfied. But there's one limited edition console I don't have, the first ever Pokemon themed Game Boy, which was the Pokemon Center Tokyo Gameboy Light. That was released in 1998, along with the first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, and Pokemon Yellow. It was limited to only 10,000 units, which makes this one of the rarest Game Boy ever made. Let's check eBay on how much that's going for. Holy shit! I'm not gonna spend 40,000 pesos for that, but I will spend 4,000 pesos to make my own exact replica. So 2 years ago, I bought this Game Boy Light in the Facebook Marketplace, and it's close to the original. It has the lens, but the shell is transparent yellow, and it doesn't have the Pokemon Center Tokyo print over here. And it's been bothering me ever since when I look at my collection, and I keep seeing this, and it's not. So my plan is to make my own. So I went to Shopee, bought some stuff that can help me make that. So I bought this custom white Game Boy Light shell, and I thought, hey, I'll spray yellow paint on it. But as it turns out, you can't just go ooga booga caveman brain and spray paint yellow stuff on plastic willy-nilly, just like that. There's actual procedures to it. So before you start painting on a plastic shell, apparently you have to scratch the protective coating from it. For that, you need Scotch-Brite, the ones you see at the other side of your sponge. After you've scrubbed the protective coating from the plastic, you use plastic primer. Plastic primer, or adhesion promoter as other shops list them, it helps the paint to stick better with the plastic. It's kind of a glue to it. And you just spray the plastic with one thin coat from this, and you wait for it to dry. And then when it's dry, you make sure there's no dust on the plastic shell, and now you can start spraying the actual color. My favorite part, yay! Now you have to spray thin coats with the color as well, like 2 to 3 thin coats. Wait 5 to 10 minutes each before you spray another thin coat, and then you wait for it to dry. And after the paint has dried, you finalize it with varnish so that it doesn't wear off, especially when you're gonna be playing with it. But I'm just gonna be displaying it, but I want to put a varnish coating on it so it looks shiny. With that settled, I hope this works. See you in a bit. So now we're outside in our garage. So yeah, we're first gonna scrub this off with Scotch-Brite so that we can start putting primer on it. I think that's scuffed up enough compared to the back side. This one's still shiny, this one isn't as much. So this one is ready to be spray painted with the primer first. Now to do this one next. Alright, I think it's ready to be sprayed by primer. Safety first. And then we dry it for a few minutes. I think the primer's all dry. Booga booga caveman brain time. Now it's finally dry. Time to finish it up with some varnish. Oh my god, after a few hours, they're finally done. And I guess they're a bit drier now. So, yeah, it's yellow now, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it, like, perfectly. Like, it doesn't look like the exact yellow I wanted it to be. It's a bit pale, and I kinda hate that the Shopee listing was kind of false advertising, because it's not the yellow that I wanted. But, nevertheless, they're yellow, they're not transparent, and it's already better than what I had, the transparent yellow. So this is better. And for someone who hasn't had experience with spray painting, they turned out well. There's a few minor ink blots that I didn't really like, but they look smooth enough and they look fine. And I'm excited for the final product. I'm gonna send this up to a UV printer so that they can print the Pokemon Center Tokyo over here, which I already traced in Adobe Illustrator. I really traced it properly because I really wanted to look as close to the original as possible, even though the yellow isn't okay, but let's hope. Oh my god, that took longer than expected. So after 1 week of getting sick, and finally getting a haircut by the way, it's finally here. So as soon as I finished spray painting it, I sent it directly to Salazar Printing Services. Thanks to those guys by the way. They took a very ridiculous and specific request that I had. So to print this at the bottom of the shell, it's so cool that they can do stuff like that. So give them a look. They make requests like that at a reasonable price. So thank you to Salazar Printing Services. So as soon as I got the shells back and looked at the UV printing of the Pokemon Center Tokyo, and it looks amazing, I sent it over to a guy who I trust Game Boys more than I do, to Sir Jafet Surdilla from the Game Boy Philippines group. He's also the guy who provided me with most of my Game Boys back here, because he knows how to assemble and customize Game Boys. I even got this customized before, but now I customize it to my preferences with the shell and the LCD, and it also has an IPS screen now, because the original Game Boy Light screen, the green one, is a bit prone to screen burn, but this one, so much better and more durable. So thank you to Sir Jafet Surdilla for also following my request, my ridiculous request, but he understands why this is important. It's a very specific limited edition console. So yeah, despite the color difference, I like how this turned out. I'm actually really proud. Caveman Brain actually did something right. It looks really close to the original, and I'm just proud that I made it myself. I can finally put it back up there in my collection and just stare at it. 4,000 pesos well spent. So yeah, if you like more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. Maybe I'll put something new. I don't know. I'm just bored, okay? I'm just bored. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Now collecting Pokemon, ow.